Hello everyone, this is Paukshte Fashion Workshop. I remind you that we post new videos every day. Today we continue working with a series of videos on working with the basic patterns. Today I'm going to show you how to make princess seams. There are different types of the princess seams. I'm going to show you the most simple ones first, and then the more complicated ones. Princess seams make the garments look absolutely amazing. They can help you make the garments fit you perfectly. I recommend making princess seams for those who have big busts and they want their clothes to be close-fitting. It's easier to make close-fitting garments with the princess seams than with the usual tucks. Princess seams also make the garments stronger. They also look good in garments for small sizes. This is my basic pattern. Have a close look at it. I've changed it a bit for this tutorial. I've made it look like my hips are wider than they really are. This is the back, and this is the front. I've decided to show you how to work with such patterns, because I know that a lot of people have such hips. I'm sure that this technique is pretty useful. I want to make princess seams in this pattern. The first one will go down from the front shoulder, and the second one down from the back shoulder. There will also be a side seam here. What should I do first? I need to measure this distance. Almost 4 centimeters. 3.5 would be enough. I'll write it down here. 3.5 centimeter extension. I don't want to cut the pattern the way it is now. If the lower part of your body is pretty full, you need to move the opening to the back tuck. If it's not, you can allocate the opening to the back and the front tucks and the side seam. I don't want to make the opening of the front tuck bigger. I want to divide the opening into the back tuck and the side seam. You can even move a part of the opening to the center back. I'll show you how to do it. You can add up to 1 centimeter here. I recommend adding 6 or 7 millimeters. It can be done in case the lower back part of your body is pretty full. I'll also add about 7 millimeters here. That makes this opening just 2 centimeters wide. I've made the extension in the side seam smaller by allocating its parts to the back tuck and the center back. Next, I'm going to cut the side seam. I'm cutting it according to the drawn lines. I remind you that the width of the extension is 2 centimeters. I haven't managed to cut this detail accurately. I'll fix it. I'm glad that I've decided to show you what to do with the extension on the hips. We often make garments with the princess seams. Not only dresses and tops, but also coats and jackets, for example. What should we pay attention to when working with the princess seams? Firstly, have a look at these points. Be very accurate when working with the waist tucks. When measuring the waist, we usually put the measuring tape very tight. We always want to look slimmer than we really are. When sewing outer clothes, I recommend making the tucks a bit tighter than they are in the patterns. Don't cut them right along the lines. Make them more smooth. You can cut them right along the lines in the dresses, but not in the outer clothes. I've decided to shoot these series of videos for you because I think that it's much better to see something once than to read about it twice. What do you think? I remind you that practice makes perfect. Next, I need to cut the pattern this way. This is the most simple type of the princess seams. This is the waist tuck, and this is the shoulder dart. This is the center back. It's very convenient to work with the tucks and darts this way. Their openings are in the same seam now. There was a sharp angle here in the shoulder dart. It should be changed. I'll make the line more smooth. Don't cut too much. This is also very important. The lines shouldn't be too smooth either. The lines shouldn't be straight. They should be round. When making a pattern, make sure that the lines are beautiful. It's very important to be able to work with the lines accurately. I've already told you about working with the waist tucks. Now you know how to do it. I remind you that I've made this detail a bit wider by allocating the hips extension. As I've already said, you can also move a part of the extension here, in case the lower back part of your body is pretty full. Even if your hip extension is pretty big, it doesn't mean that the full extension should be placed here. There's one very important rule. Do not forget about the evenness when working with the openings and extensions. Just imagine how a garment would look like if you placed the full extension in the side seam. Watch what I'm doing next. Such princess seams are perfect for people with a full bust. I'm not talking about the bust size. I'm talking about the bust measurement. As I've already said, this is the most simple type of the princess seams. I'm going to attach a piece of the tracing paper here to show you how to alter the pattern in this case. It's very important to be able to work with the patterns accurately. Those who have slim waists can draw additional tucks here. I'm drawing it by side, just for you to see what you need to do. Those who have sunken backs can also make additional tucks here. I'll show you what to do in case your bust measurement is pretty big. This is how the lines in my pattern look like now. This is the bus stop. I'll sign it. I need to make this line more round, making sure that it goes through the bus stop. You can make the extension even bigger. It depends just on your measurement. Notice that the princess seam is of different shape now. I'll cut the pattern for you to see everything clearly. This is how the princess seam should look like in case your bust measurement is pretty big. This is the most simple type of the princess seams. I want you to have a close look at the tucks once again. This is the pattern for the regular type of body. There are also irregular bodies. Sometimes there is no need to make waist tucks on the front or in the back. Some have sunken back, so they have to make big waist tucks on the back. There might be no need for them to make tucks on the front. I show you the techniques for working not only with the regular bodies, but also with the irregular bodies. People are different, and so are other techniques. This is why I recommend you making mock-ups. There is no other way to learn your body and its peculiarities. Those who have sunken back can also make seams on the waist and the back details. There is no need for them to make waist seams on the front. This is also a very useful technique. I remember that this is the video about the princess seams. I just can't stop myself from showing you some other useful details. In this case, you will have to stitch the seam this way. Notice that I haven't changed the side seam. I did it in order for the details to match. I remind you that this is what can be done in case your back is sunken. If you make a waist seam on the back, it doesn't mean that you need to make a waist seam on the front. You can, for example, make waist seams in the back when sewing jackets. Today I showed you how to make the most simple princess seams. In the next video, I'm going to show you a different type of them. That's all for today. Be different and beautiful. My name is Paukshte Irina. Subscribe to my channel, write comments, share the videos, press the like and the bell buttons. I would really appreciate your support. Thank you. Goodbye.